Okay, folks, look, it's that time of the year, right? So we always looking for something to like warm us up. The temperatures, dropping down. This is my favorite time of the year anyway, right? So listen, I'm gonna show you how to do, I don't know, I wanted to call it like a weeknight, chili recipe, but check this out. This is probably like one of my little go-tos. Either way, we finna make chili. So let's get it. All right, you guys, look, so what we're gonna do right now is just fly over some of these ingredients so you guys can see them, right? Everything that you see right there, including a downloadable, printable, recipe is on my website, and that's Smokin and Grillin with AB.com, and that's WITAB.com. Now, if you guys look right here, first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna start by adding a little bit of, this is a extra virgin olive oil. It's infused with garlic. I just start with this, right? I've already diced down my onion. As you can see, I'm using canned beans. I know you guys want to talk to me down at the bottom of that this comment section and want to tell me like, hey, beans don't belong and this don't do. You know what? Then the people ask me like, can I take out the beans? Of course you can. You guys add whatever you want to add and take out what you want to take out. But right now I'm gonna get you in the ballpark. This right here is gonna be like an inside the park home run, and if you guys want to do something else and make it a grand slam, you do it on your end, right? So I'm heating this up right now. I'm gonna wait until I see it shimmer. Once I see it shimmer, now this is how I do mine. I know I'm doing onion and I'm gonna do garlic. I get everything that I'm gonna need as I'm gonna use it, and I set it up like this. This is where I don't have no failure. I don't cook and be looking for while I'm cooking, right? I measure, get everything out, and I work like this. Dutch oven, oil, we're gonna do onion, minced garlic. Oh, let me do that since we're talking about being prepped. Here it is. And then we got, our beef, right? This right here, this is ground beef. This is 80-20. I like that. Some of you guys say if it's a little bit, after you make it and you say, it's a little bit on the greasy side, let's go 90-10. And then some of y'all that's really watching what you do, you can go 93-7. All right, so here we go. Starting with the onions, right? So I'm gonna drop these in. You can hear it's already nice and hot and ready to go. All right, so what I'm doing now is, even though this was garlic infused, right, now we infusing it with a little bit of this onion. Now, it's up to you guys. I can tell you this, you guys gotta read my recipe. I put in there options. If we gonna go this big, let me just bring it up like that. You guys see that right there? If we go to this size, right, that's more so for like the texture. But because we're gonna cook this for a little while, it's gonna render some of this flavor in there too. But my point is, if we dice it down small, it'll be for the taste. We leave it big like this, so that it'll be for the texture. All right, so now that we give our onions a little bit of a head start, right? What I'm gonna do is, look what I want you guys to pay attention to this part right here. Because it's nice and hot down there, I'm just gonna make a bed. I move it all over there like that. You see this right here? Now when I go ahead and put my garlic in here and I mince it, I don't have to rush. I can go ahead and just hit it just like this. All right, and then as it comes out, I just wanna let y'all know, I smile every time I do this. Look, you see that? And then I take it and it drops right down on top of my onions. I don't have to worry about burning anything. And if I want to talk or whatever I'm doing, that's safe. But nobody like burnt garlic. We'll just put this right here. Let's get this last little bit. And one of the things I like about this press is I can take everything that it didn't press, put it back in there, reposition it, and get it all. Look at that. Now, I know some of y'all, like on the East Coast, y'all like to use that garlic paste. My boy, Matt, he love it. Matter of fact, every time I see it in the store, I think of him. All right, so here we go. Now we'll let the minced garlic, touch that hot, garlic and olive oil down there. Look at that. Then right off the back, when you're standing over it, you can smell it as soon as it gets hot. All right, we got everything going there. That's where it should be. Now I'm gonna go ahead and just drop in my ground beef. I'm gonna break this up a little bit. I'm gonna use my square edge first. Just to break it up. Get some coverage down here. Get everything on the bottom of this Dutch oven. And then I'm gonna leave it alone. Okay, so as you can see, it's brown, it's starting to cook up. Usually when it get this firm and I can see it starting to come all the way mostly to the top, that's when I get in here with my meat masher. You know what I mean? And then I start breaking this up. Now the objective of this is to just get it, we want it to be brown and ground down even more, right? So You're gonna need a few tools, but this right here helps you with that. And it doesn't scratch the bottom, especially when you're using, you know, things like these porcelain pans, these Dutch ovens, that coating, you don't wanna like mess them up. So we just work just like this. And as you're doing it, you'll see the pink just starts to dissipate. You know what I mean? It just starts to cook. It doesn't have to be fully cooked. This process right here at a medium high flame usually takes about 8 minutes. All right, but you see that right there? Look at it. You can just see as I'm talking, the pink just goes away. But no worries, anything that's uncooked in here, after we put this hour and a half on it, you know what'll happen. Everything will be cooked. All right. So now you can see how my beef is. You can see my onions. They translucent. Oh yeah, this is coming along just fine. Now, before I even add this, let's go ahead and reiterate what I said earlier about lining up everything that I need. All of my dry ingredients are getting ready to go in right now. That's why I got them here. After that, once I get that incorporated, then I'm gonna be coming with my tomato paste. Then my beef broth and my beans. You guys got it. It makes cooking so simple. You guys let me know down in that comment section below. What do you guys think? Do you try it my way? Or how many of y'all really trying to do everything out of the refrigerator and our cupboards? So here we go. We start adding all of our ingredients, our dry ingredients inside of here. Now this right here is sugar. You gotta have just a little bit of balance. You guys do not. I done made chili 1,000 times with it and probably made it about 1,500 times, you know, without it. So we just add everything that you have here and we can go ahead and talk about, people say, I don't put sugar in mine. I told you guys the real missing ingredient in some of these chilies when you're making certain types of chilies is the cinnamon. I done gave up all the game. You guys just let me know. And the way this is looking right now, the way I got that seasoned, this reminds me of a sloppy joe that I do, folks. Look at that right there. Look at the color. Yes, sir. Now, we're getting ready to come with the tomato paste. You just add this to it. And okay, so if you're new to cooking, you making this for your first time, you getting your legs underneath you, you got everybody waiting, you done told them like, hey, I'm finna make something, right? I want you to remember this part. Tomato paste don't melt like you think. You know what I mean? You get it in here, you put some heat on it, it just doesn't work that way. You're gonna need some liquid to go with it too. So what I'm doing is just working this around like this, just letting it heat up, right? Spreading it around, and then I'm gonna come with my beef broth. Oh yeah. Now, when that gets hot, that breaks that down. And look at there. Starting to look like chili now, huh, folks? Look at that. Now, if you got one of them big giant families, you know what I mean, that you trying to feed an army, if you anything like me, you know how we like to have chili all week. And you know it's better tomorrow than it is today, right? So with that being said, I would just say double the recipe. Okay, so you see this beautiful chili we got started right here? Now for me, I'll listen to what you guys got to say, but I like beans in mine. You know, we can talk about it. You can tell me how you don't like yours. But I'm gonna be honest with you though, the beans just make it right. So now I'm gonna go ahead and just pour my diced tomatoes in. Oh, you guys have been, I just love building flavor. And this, you know, what we're doing is building layers on top of layers, right? So we'll add our beans to it. All right, yeah, this is it. Now these were drained. Obviously my diced onions weren't. My diced tomatoes weren't. You know, so, you know, you want to pay attention to some of the details. That makes a difference when at the end, where there's going to be a little bit, you know, on a soupy side or whatever, which you can always just remove the top, and, you know, and just like cook it some more. Now, I'm going to wait till I see it to boil a little bit. We're going to set it for a simmer, and then we're going to let this go for about, like about an hour and a half. Right, so we can see where we at. We good. Let me go ahead and get this like super low. You want to have a lid on the top, folks, because that's going to help it cook and get everything nice and, you know, married together. You got to have time for everything to break down. Then they got to get married. Okay, so now that we got the lid on here and we got it on a low simmer, right? I'll check on it about every 30 minutes, being honest with you, because we want to make sure we super low. We getting the, you know, the heat in there, but we don't want nothing to stick on the bottom. So I like to stir it about every 30 minutes, right? Now, meanwhile, you can see I got some ingredients right here. I'm gonna go ahead and get set up because about the last 30 minutes, you know what I mean? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get this ready and I'm finna make some cornbread. And guess what, folks? We doing it from scratch. Don't forget, the full ingredient list for this will be on my website, smokingandgrillinwithab.com, and that's WITAB.com. Buttermilk cornbread. Okay, so listen, all my timers went off. I looked at it, and I didn't even have to add no beef stock to it or nothing. Now, you can add some to it if you would like, if you want yours to be a little bit more looser. If you want to know what I'm talking about, I like a man's, like a hearty, stick to your rib type of chili. So let me just go ahead and just bring this up like this. You see that right there? Look at how it is. Now, I'll just tilt this over it, and you could just see. I hope that's showing the texture, right? This is what I like, right? So I'm going to go ahead and take my bowl, because I got to get some pictures, folks. So I'm going to just add some of this to it, just like you see. This is kind of like a big bowl. It's kind of deep, too. But you guys are getting the gist of it. Look at that right there. Ooh. One more, and that'll do it, folks. Now we're gonna put a little cheese, sour cream, put some green on there for some, for some pop, and then we're gonna eat some of that. Oh, and then I did muffins and I did cornbread. I should have doubled the recipe, because after I started making, muffins, I didn't have enough to make it big. You know what I mean? But anyway, you guys get the point. Okay, folks, look, so after you saw what we had created and all of that, I took the pictures, it's time for me to re-dig in. I gotta say it that way, because listen, I've been sampling it like a mother. All I can tell you is it's good, and I'm still trying to get ahead of all of them questions and asking me, do I have to put the beans in? No, you don't. You know what I mean? It's fire the way it is. Now I'm finna go in here and get some of this with a little bit of this sour cream. You know what I mean? I need to dice up some more onions, but you see this here? Look at that. Yes, sir. Cheers, y'all. Ooh. Ain't no need for me to wipe my mouth like that, because I'm finna re-dig in. Dig in. You know what I'm saying? Hey, so listen, this right here is fire. You can see the look on my face. You can hear it in my tone and all of that. I want you guys to make this and tell me what would you do to make it your own, or if you got some suggestions to take this over the top, please let me know. Now, if you're new to my channel, let me take this time to say thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like, smash that subscribe button, and let everybody know out there. There's a channel out here that's simplifying these recipes and taking the mystery out of cooking. Let me go ahead and get this onion so I can dice this down and sprinkle some of that on there so I can eat. I'm out, y'all. Peace.